know it's Friday, Carrie, and you're thinking, wasn't Tom meant to upload? But Tom this morning was like, no, it's your turn to upload. And I was like, but I did Friday last week, it's your turn. And he was like, no, you do Fridays, I do Sundays. And you know, we'll just address our videos to Carrie and Carrie can address her videos to both of us. And well, then he had to leave and it just seemed too complicated to argue. So hi, it's me. I know that you did a video for Tom at the beginning of the year talking about your diary that you'd written and little insights into the world of Carrie. Well, I have been clearing out my boxes upstairs and I have come across a little thing which I think you'll like. My autobiography. That's when I was a Falcone, when I was 13. Look at me. Woo. I didn't have just a ridiculously big ego. It was a piece of English work. I thought I would read some of it to you because I read it a few weeks ago and it made me cry, some of the things that I thought would happen to me when I was 13 and they haven't, or some of the ways that I viewed myself. It's insightful to see what my 13-year-old brain was thinking when I wrote this. And also, it's worth noting that this is actually before I went to Sylvia's and before I met Tom. How fun! It's a serious thing, this. You know, I've got an introduction, a contents page, early memories, how I've changed into a teenager, bad holiday memories. I've got hobbies, list of hobbies, fact file on my dad and my mum, my brother and my sister. Fact file on my mum, I've put her hobby is spending money she hasn't got. And her ambition was to live in peace. Well, we've all left home, so hopefully, Mum, you're living in a bit of peace now. I read this bit this morning, which I found really funny. And also, it's funny how my writing style, although I'm 13, it's still colloquial. You know, it's still conversational. This chapter is called How I've Changed from a Child to a Teenager. Obviously, I've changed with my appearance. I used to be very podgy, not fat, podgy, but now I've thinned out a bit. One thing I would say is that when you're a podgy child and you have a very skinny sister, you get a bit annoyed. But I was young and it didn't bother me too much. Apart from that, I think I've matured quite a bit. Put it this way, I don't play with my Barbies anymore, but then you'd get worried if I said I did. The humour. The way I see things has also changed. Like, for instance, I used to be best friends with boys, but now my best friends are girls and boys are boys. Boys aren't there to talk to anymore. Nowadays they would probably laugh. Anyway, I think I would feel a bit silly. The way I feel about myself has also changed. I've now decided that it doesn't matter what other people think of me, but what I think of myself. Wise words, Giovanna, and I don't know why I didn't listen to you, Giovanna, 13-year-old Giovanna, growing up. Unfortunately, I do care what people think of me and think it really affects me when people don't like me. I think it's ingrained in me from being bullied when I was younger. So it's nice that that moment when I was 13 that I had that kind of mindset. I just want it back. And then I found, well, and there's two other interesting bits in here. Under my hobby section, I've got reading. Whenever I get a chance to read, I do. I find it really interesting, but then if I have one of those books that I just can't get into, I have to leave it for a while and come back to it. I like reading books, but I'm no good at writing them. And then my teacher wrote, yes you are, I'm enjoying this. Yes you are enjoying it because I became an author. And then after that I've got my ambitions. I only have one ambition. That is to become an actress and singer. A lot of people may say that's what everyone says when they're young, but it's not like that for me. Ever since I was a child, I always wanted to be one of those bright and bubbly people on TV. I used to practice every day in front of my mirror. And I did. When I moved to Ingatestone, the junior school were doing their school play. I auditioned and I got the part I wanted. I had to sing on my own in front of a load of people. I was nervous, but I really enjoyed it. When I finished school, or before that, I would like to go to drama school, hopefully Sylvia Young Theatre School. Then things would go from there. Well, I did go to Sylvia Young Theatre School and that's where I met Thomas! Yes! This is so lovely. Well, it's a bit tearjerkery to see what my ambitions were and, you know, where your life has gone, and yeah, it's really sweet. I know you did a little video a while ago about what you would say to your 16-year-old self or your teenage self. And it's funny, the things you think you learn as you grow up and the things you think you've got along the way. Like, clearly, when I was writing this, I thought I understood things in life. I think of my 13-year-old self as being really young and immature and someone who didn't really know about the world. Whereas actually, I think I was wiser then than I give myself credit for. Which is important, I think, to note. Because I think sometimes people will always sort of put down younger people and like, oh, you don't know yet. Well, this is in the midst of realising my dreams, and you know, I pursued. I went to Sylvia's, I met Tom, and we had buzz, and we became sisters. That's me. That's my deep thought, really. Is it deep? I don't know. I don't know. Everything is relevant to you in your life at the moment that you are going through it. And don't let anyone else tell you any differently. But that's my first ever biography. I thought that would cheer you up and, you know, give you an insight into what I was like as a 13-year-old, which was just before I would have met you both. Check out my barnet on that as well. That's when I had braces, curly hair. I am off. Now, Carrie, you do not do a video on Sunday. Now Tom does a video on Sunday addressed to you. But so we're going to address our videos to you, and you can address your videos to both of us. So every Wednesday it's you, Friday it's me, Sunday it's Tom, which means that for people watching, they know which channel to go to, and it all makes it much more organised. So that's nice, isn't it? Rather than being like, whoa, what day of the week? It's like when the recycling van comes, you know, and sometimes they do the whole recycling, other times it's textiles, other times it's garden stuff. It gets confusing, just keep it the same thing. Talk about playing the saxophone here, which is rather interesting. I play the saxophone at school on Wednesday nights. I'm also in the school orchestra. I used to be in the orchestra, the school orchestra, but what the people there don't know is I never used to play. I never used to know what was going on, so I just used to sit there like playing, moving my fingers and pretending that I was actually playing along. Ah, dear.